Welcome to the Introduction to Research in Educational Sciences. And this course gonna dealing with the quantitative method, especially the basic quantitative research method that you can use for your research. And for the lesson one, we'll discuss under the three topics. First is the types of research questions. Second is the types of scales of measurement. And last, the types of central tendency in quantitative research. And in this video clip, we focus on the types of research questions that you can use if you are using the quantitative method. Probably you hear about these questions often, or you're gonna hear oftentimes about it. First is what is your research topic and what are your research questions? Probably there are some students who already have their topic in their mind and want to do that, but there may be I think more students who didn't decide their topic yet. And also same as the research questions, but don't worry about it. Happen to I think every master degree student, and even the one who have certain topics, their mind can be changed. So don't worry about that as well. But keep thinking about these two questions during your master program, because I think the most important thing or stuff that you need to complete is writing the research paper. And without the topic and questions, you cannot start it. So keep thinking about it. And in these lessons, we will discuss about the research questions that you can use if you are conducting the quantitative research. There are some categorization of statistical analysis, but in broader term, there can be two statistics that you can use for the quantitative research. First is a descriptive statistics. This is a summary or the description of the survey result. For instance, the levels of teaching quality perceived by students, or simply the number of the participant and the number of the gender among the participant, or the teaching experiences of the samples. Um, and so this is really a basic statistics that you can use. And maybe all the quantitative research use this descriptive statistics at the basic level, for the basic level. And the second one is the more used in the quantitative research, named inferential statistics. And this is about the relationship between different kinds of variables. For instance, the relationship between instructional quality and achievement, or the relationship between this um, teacher directed method and the student confidence, level of confidence, like that, or the relationship between gender and self-efficacy in science, like that. So there are two types of statistics that are often used in the quantitative research method. And under these two statistics, there can be four types of research questions. And the first one is a descriptive research questions, let's say. And this type of the research question is least common, especially at the level of the master degree. So it's mixed with the other types of research questions in quantitative study. But at the same time, it can be used with the qualitative data set if you only use this kind of basic research method. The example of the descriptive research question is what types of student-centered approach do teachers use, or how often the teachers use those kind of approaches, and how frequently do students ask for help during the instruction. So as you could see, the descriptive statistics dealing with some kind of frequencies they experience. So students would, when the students got this question, they mark from 1 to 4 usually, like a never, sometimes, often, always, like that. And based on that frequencies, we calculate the numbers and see the relationship, kind of that. The other example can be how many students feel happy at school. or how often do students experience bullying in and out of school environment. So in this kind of questions, students' well-being at school are measured, and I think this topic is more important these days. And the many secondary data set or many international assessment comparison studies tackle with this kind of descriptive questions um, regarding the student well-being. So if you have interested in this type of questions, this is the descriptive research question in quantitative research. And the answer of or the result of the descriptive statistic are present in this kind of figures. First one is a bar chart, and the second one is a pie chart. Probably you might see this kind of result often while reading the articles. The example here is that um, it's about the student-centered method in the science education. And the first one, as I said, the student answer among the um, four answers, like never in some lessons, in most lessons, and in all lessons. And first two were deemed as a negative answer, and the later two answers as a positive answers. And as you can see, in the first question about the doing experiment, so, I could see that more than 77% of the students showed negative answers. On the other hand, about the teacher, let's say teacher instruction, it's more direct teaching approaches. More students answer the positively, which means that the student in this study experience more teacher-centered teaching approaches rather than the student-centered approaches. So the descriptive statistic results can be presented in this way in your result section. All right, and the other three types of research questions are like these, and this is under the inferential statistics. The first one is a comparative research questions. For instance, what is the difference between private and public secondary school students' science performance? So they compare the achievement between the private school student and the public school student and see if there are significant differences in terms of science, mathematics, or reading. Another example is what is the difference between countries in pursuing science careers? So in this comparison studies, they involve different the students from the different countries, and see if there are more students who want to pursue the science career in certain countries. Like for instance, in Finland, compared to southern part of European countries, there are less students who want to do the science professions at the higher education like that. So it's a comparison study. You can conduct a comparison study if you have this kind of comparative research questions. And the third type of research question is about the relationship. And the example is what is the relationship between gender and student science interest? Usually there are some differences, gender differences in their student interest in science, especially physics, and also like an engineering and technology. More boys prefer to study the physics than the girls like that. So it's there must be a relationship between the different types of gender and the student interest and aspiration. Another example can be, do teachers' teaching experience correlate positively to the quality of teaching? So it tackles like how the teacher's year of teaching experience affect to the quality of their teaching. And the last one is a causality. It is used usually the longitudinal study or the intervention study. So longitudinal means that like when we are using the questionnaire, we use the pre-questionnaire in the end at the beginning of the semester, and we we collect the post questionnaire in the end of the semester. So we see the differences between the uh, beginning and the end of the semester longitudinally. The other study for using the causality research question is intervention study. So it also uses the pre and post questionnaire. So before the certain intervention at school, like teaching with inquiry-based learning more often like that, or using certain types of what can it be like using some scenarios, or in this days gamification is a really hot topic. So before using the gamification pedagogies, um, collect the survey before the interventions, and after 3 to 4 times of the intervention of the gamification, then collect another question. Then compare these two survey to see the effect of the intervention, and it can be a causality study or the causality research quotient. So the example is, what is the effect of early childhood experience on their career choice? And yeah, there are lots of effect of early childhood experience in, let's say, science and in informal situation, or if there are like um, yeah, this kind of early experience, or the what like the entrance age of the school, the effect of entrance age of the school on their achievement in the secondary school. And these kind of questions are quite interesting already. I think already answered, but these kind of questions are the causality type of the research question. And the result of the inferential statistic can be shown like this. Usually, we use the tables to show some correlations. Sorry for this abbreviation, but it shows a guided inquiry, open inquiry, and the science self-efficacy and outcome expectation, interest in future career aspiration like that. So, and these are somehow the correlation between the variables here. And also this is also the table that shows the correlation. And this one is about a relationship between the like a teaching experience, gender, educational level, class size, emphasis on the examination like that. And this one, we call it a structure equation modeling. If you are interested in the quantitative research method, you may often hear about it in a later phase when you maybe complete the second quantitative research method class, or when you are reading the research articles, it's really common in social science. So it also it's about the correlation study, but it can be a causality study as well. So it shows some impact of the guided inquiry, open inquiry on self-efficacy and outcome expectation and interest in future. And it shows some complicated relationship between those variables based on certain theories. So without theories, this kind of model is in vain. So today in this video clip, we did about the 4 types of research questions in quantitative research under the 2 categorization, descriptive statistics and the inferential statistics. And hope you think about your research question under these types of research question and refine it if you want to conduct the quantitative research method. Thank you very much.